Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin did break out of our support area, so it seems like it wants to reverse. This is not enough to be full evidence that it's reversing, but I think at the moment we have reasons to believe that wave 2 of 5 is ending and or ended over the weekend, and ideally it's now continuing to follow my primary wave count, which would be this further upside that we talked about, and a continuation of the uptrend that was started in November, to complete that by putting in an extension of that fifth wave here. That's sort of how the roadmap would look like if it's really following that, where we bottomed here in a wave 4 on the 13th of February. Moved up in a wave 1, came down in a wave 2, we would now rally in a third wave, come down in a 4 and move up in a 5. I have to say, we have initial evidence, but it's still too early to really confirm it. But I would say now that we have that we can lean towards that here on the lower time frame this correction was over. It's been the primary expectation anyway to turn around in this yellow area. So now obviously we've got a certain level of confirmation. What would be the target of the third wave? So first of all, let's talk about targets, what it would need to do now to prove that further, and then we also talk about what level it needs to hold, because of course, you know, there is an invalidation level. If it goes below that, the move down will commence or will continue. So at the moment, the idea is that it would need to hold the... Oh, first of all, let's talk about targets. So if we talk about targets, I will disregard this wick here, because this was really only on Coinbase. No, this one. Okay, no, I disregard this one, but this one we can consider. So we bottomed here possibly on the 25th of Feb at around 22,700, yeah. And by measuring the length of the wave 1 and the low of the wave 2, we can now calculate target for the third wave, and we talk about 29K. For that. To get further confirmation that indeed this is the count, we would need to see a break above the B wave high of this correction to the downside. That was here at 24,040. That's the next level I want to see broken, and that is also going to be probably some resistance. Then we will have local resistance probably at 24,607. And then we can rally further. Now, anybody who's already FOMOing, bear in mind, if this really is the move to the upside, I mean, you haven't missed anything yet. It's just moved 1%, basically. Yeah. There will be, obviously the idea would be it rallies then to 29K if the low has been made here in this support area. So there is still a decent way that it can go. Let's see now if it adheres to this count, because what it would need to do, so let me just go to the 15-minute chart. It would need to hold, in my opinion, the 23,130 level. Yeah. Why is that so important? Well, in the previous video we talked about, we had here possibly a wave 1, then a wave 2 to the downside. That this would come, this would most likely happen. A move to the downside in a wave 2 gave you a support area that it would need to hold. It did hold that support. It didn't even get down that low. But my view is that we put in here an ABC correction in a running flat, which is rare in a wave 2, which would rather be a bullish view. There might be other ways of interpreting this, yeah. But for me, this is actually not too unlikely, and I did share that already on the Signals channel earlier today, that while we would prefer a deeper wave 2, which would be common in a wave, in a wave 2 you normally get a sharp correction, but what I could not rule out was this count, a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside here, and then an A wave down, an overshooting B wave in 3 waves. That's why I considered it, because we had here 3 waves to the upside, and it basically stayed below the 1.38 fib retracement, which is normally sort of the level, the threshold level to say, okay, it might be a B wave, an overshooting B wave that can normally go up to the 1.38 fib retracement, which it did, and moved up in 3 waves. And then I highlighted to the channel members already on Telegram, Discord earlier today that the C wave had reached the 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah, so an ideal target for a running flat C wave is the 100% extension of the A wave, and it did hold that and then started to rally to the upside. So that's what I'm watching here, and it might be that the wave 2 finished here and that we are now in the third wave, and this here might have been a 1-2 setup in the third wave, and I'm looking now at a wave 3 of 3 here. So how can we look at that? So first of all, if we say a wave 1 to the upside here, a wave 2 to the downside, what would be the target for this third wave? We would then first of all need to label the subwave structure. So we'd say here possibly a wave 1, here a wave 2, here a wave 3, 4, 5. What about this wave 3? Looks like this wave 3 has only so far 1 to 3 waves, so ideally it pushes higher. Target for this wave 3, circle wave 3, would be, I mean, 1.618 already reached, so it's reached the minimum expectations. So that's fine. Target for the larger wave 3, we talk about here 23,783. So we probably get a fourth maybe here now. Yeah. Let me just think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So ideally this wave 3 pushes a little higher because I can only see 3 waves so far. Then we get a fourth and a fifth. Then we get a larger 4 and a fifth. And that could be the overall first wave, yeah, of this third wave, which should take us to 29K. At least that's what I'm watching at the moment. I mean, don't think anything is for certain. As per this wave count, it would need to hold, first of all, 23,140, and then, that is pretty much the level, 21,130 and 140. These are the two wave 2 lows. If it breaks below that, we're probably going to make a new low, but against that level, the focus could now be on higher. Extremely interesting what it's doing now towards the weekly candle close, and if it really turns around here, it followed the primary expectation nicely, came down to the 61.8 retracement. Today in the member live stream, we talked about the golden ratio here. There you go. It hit it nicely and reversed. So let's see. Yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.